Today, this is more of like a farmer's warning. We're going to discuss exactly how this RFK, this executive order, this glyphosate situation, all that plays into conventional farming versus regenerative ag. The difference is we can't grow regenerative ag and we can't take all the chemicals out of the food. We'll talk about why. And as someone who doesn't believe in any chemicalized food, one who raises his own food as a regenerative farm, literally processing a hog right now as we speak on the farm today, we're going to talk about how America's not ready for that. We'll discuss that. Also, we're going to talk about what Trump said yesterday. It's very strange. He got called on mic stating something that he says there's a lot of people gunning for him, but he said, I may not be here long. As the president, sick as he, downtrodden, he really sounded defeated yesterday. I don't believe he's defeated. I really don't, but I do believe he sees with the tariff problems, with the files and list, with all this going on with Mexico, with Iran, it seems like we are losing a battle. And conservatives are more worried about fighting on Twitter than they are actually winning. We have Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson fighting against us. What's the outcome to this? Truly, what's the outcome to this? I thought it was worse enough under Biden. I guess it did not get bad enough. How bad can it get before we realize we need a better leader or a proven leader or at least someone who's willing to pass bills? We can't even get past bills with the Republicans. We're going to discuss it. And lastly, we're going to talk about what Jamie Dimon, again, a billionaire banker, along with someone who knows the market, who knows the Fed, is stating about the status of where we're at. There's also one of the biggest groups of journalists dealing with Financial Times stating AI has done exactly what it's supposed to do, destroy the market. Are we looking at a financial chaos, a crash coming? Is there another 08 or 2020 coming? That's what the biggest people are saying. Why do you think all these people are pulling out the market? It's kind of strange, isn't it? Let's dive into all these stories today. This video starts right now. Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Thank you so very much for being here today. Let's jump into the story dealing with the farmers first. I want to mention a few things, and let's talk about where RFK is versus where this executive order is. Now, I've seen the most complaining about stuff in our food. I agree. I don't like stuff in my food. Actually, if you come to our home, you will see that we raise about 90 to 95% of our food. The other 5 to 10% is stuff that we just cannot grow, like bananas, oranges, and things like that. Now, we can grow lemons, satsumas, citrus fruit, but we just can't do some things because of our temperatures. However, what we buy at that point is the most organic, unprocessed, and if I don't know the ingredients, we don't buy it. We haven't ate fast food. We haven't ate out in a long time. I couldn't even tell you the last time we ate out. I couldn't tell you the last time we bought store-bought bread. So in someone who believes in completely getting away from this chemicalized system, we don't eat soy. We don't eat the wheat, like hybridized wheat or any of this kind of GMO wheat. We don't eat the corn. We don't use any of that. So I believe that all those things are bad for us. We don't buy mac and cheese. We don't do those kind of things. But even though we know it's harming, RFK said 70% of all processed food is actually carcinogenic. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Now let's talk about the other side of this. This morning I got up at 4 a.m. milk cows so we could have fresh milk to make milk, of course to have milk to drink, butter, cream cheese, or mozzarella cheese. That's what we do with our cheese, our milk every day. 4 to 5 gallons I pump every day at 4 a.m. Milk 2 cows, 3 cows sometimes. I deal with that. I fight through the weather. It's 28 outside, so the pump is freezing up. That's life. Then I go and I straight load up a hog, fighting a hog with a pig board, risking my legs to mostly load into a trailer so I could get back to process it. Then I will take that process and grind up, smoke, make the bacon. I've got food. That's about a 7 to 10 day process on that hog. I have a steer sitting at the market. I couldn't handle the steer because it's just too big, so I was able to use a friend who has the butcher equipment to be able to break down that big of an animal. I could do the hogs, I can do the sheep, I could even do the chicken, all that kind of stuff, but I can't do the beef. I've already tilled up our gardens, broke up our gardens. While it was raining the other day and the storms were coming in and the lightning was hitting, I was outside planting onions. You know why I do that? Because I believe that the food system is broken. Now, for everyone who complains about the stuff in their food, first of all, quit buying it. You know McDonald's stock was up this last quarter. That shows people were overbuying McDonald's. You know, we complain about this kind of stuff, but when you told people they had to go out there and raise their own food, they would scream, cry, and yell at you and not vote for you for sure. So now let's go back to this situation where RFK is saying we're trying to go back to regenerative farm. He knows good and well we can't do that. There's not one conventional bigger farm that has thousands of acres that's raising corn, soy, or wheat that could go back to not having a GMO modified seed along with having some kind of weed killer in there. I don't agree with it. I wouldn't dare eat it. I'm not. Think about it. If the animals won't eat the crop, if the deer, the squirrel, the raccoon, the possum, and insects don't want the crop because it's just beautiful, lush, and they don't want it, that means it's been modified so much that God's creation won't eat it. So why in the world do we want to put it in our system? It's carcinogenic, no doubt. Here's the flip side. I can work harder, grow more beef, more sheep, more hog, more garden variety, and yet I cannot have a surplus like they can because I'm using natural amendments and I'm raising grass-fed beef. Takes longer to grow. Pork that's not raised on fat and soy and corn just to beef them up and fatten them up. My cows are healthy, but they're not just overweight like you see in some feedlots. So it takes me longer, and I don't get as big of a harvest. Now, there's only about 5% of Americans, they said 5 to 8% of Americans growing food right now. How in the world do you think they're going to feed you doing regenerative ag? How many farmers who the average age is 65 to 75 is actually going to go out there and till around his crops, who's going to work around his crops to keep the grass away as the stuff grows? Not a one of them. They're going to use chemical. I don't like it. But let's just be very honest and very clear. Because we're too lazy and we're too coddled as Americans, if you're not growing your own food, you will be on the system and take it hook, line, and sinker. Because you may know your farmer, but unless you have a good relationship and willing to co-op and help him or grow community-sourced agriculture, CSA, community-supported agriculture, this is something that everyone can do. That's how you build up regenerative ag. You start shopping local. You start buying it from the guy down the road. However, if the guy down the road is using chemicals, he's no better. If you go to my local farmer's market, there's about 5 of us that grow organically. There's about 20 of them that will sell you potatoes, greens, and all the other fixings you want. And every one of them are chemicalized. But you thinking, well, it's healthy. It's not. See, here's the breakdown. We can't go back to regenerative ag. It's because no one knows how to actually grow regeneratively. You know why my chicken are literally sitting on the garden right now? I work a little mobile coop around on that garden. Why? Because they're feeding the ground with natural nitrogen. Because I'm feeding them non-GMO feed, organic feed. They're eating grasses off the land and they're re-feeding the ground. Same with my cattle. They're manure. Then I spread it. Sheep, same way. I move them. It's hard work. And no one is willing to do it. I don't know one person in my town that's milking family milk cows on a consistent basis for the last 10 years like we have. I don't know anybody. I know people's tried it. I know people's bought cows from me and they've tried it for about 6 months, 12 months, and they were like, oh, this is not for me. So now you tell me why they complain about McDonald's or complain about Walmart or complain about boxed processed food, but not willing to do anything about it. Now, I'm not trying to get on to you. What I'm trying to say is grow your own food, do as much as you can, build a community-sourced agriculture, learn how to grow together, because you can't get mad at Trump trying to get phosphorus and glyphosate. I don't believe in it. It is poison. Why are we giving them liability waivers? I agree with all that. But the sad part of it is Americans will not make it. They will starve. And that is the truth. Without having these kind of things, because no one's on the farm raising food anymore. I have people all the time, well, they'll just start farming again. Who? The average American, Iowa's land right now, the most fertile land, or they say the most fertile land, actually is probably the most chemicalized land, is selling for about $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 an acre. Name a normal American that can afford that and grow animals on it. So to tell people, oh yeah, we're going to go back and grow food. Most people don't even know what amendment is and what organics is, or fish emulsion is, or chicken manure is. I love the fact that people are thinking about their food better because this other stuff is harming us. But you know what Sri Lanka did? They believed in the Great Reset, but what they did, here's what they did. They tried to go back to regenerative farming. People started starving and the food that they imported was about 80% the cost of what it should have been. So you want to gripe about your food costing a lot? It's going to cost a whole lot more when it's healthy because no one's growing it. Now, I'm telling you honestly, start growing as much food as you can. Go down below me and get survival garden seeds and start growing gardens. Start learning how to harvest eggs, harvest pork, harvest chicken, harvest all this food, because your family will depend on it. Now, before we move on, I want to mention this. We're going to be talking about the financial crisis in just a second, and then Trump. A word from today's sponsor, Augusta Precious Metals. One thing I've learned is this. I cannot find value in just dollars, because for one thing, I see my government spending way too much. I can't find value in crypto because what I've realized is crypto has fallen down. It's so speculative. It's up and down. It's a roller coaster ride, and there's no way to really build generational wealth. You know what else? I've learned that the stock market may not be the answer either. Over time, it looks good, but you're always at the beck and call of these banks, these bigger companies, the Vanguards, the BlackRocks, and so forth. You know what I've started looking at more and more? Is gold and silver. Why? Because it has been around for way longer than even America has. It's been around for thousands upon thousands of years. That's why I've partnered with Augusta Precious Metals. Go to maxlovesgold.com or text the number below. They're here to help you. They'll give you a free guide of understanding how to invest in gold and silver, physical gold and silver. It's a phenomenal move. Say you have some money in the accounts right now in your IRAs or in your 401ks, and you're worried about what the market's doing right now. Talk to them. They'll help you and transfer some of that money without having any tax liability on it. They know how to store it in a gold and silver tax-advantaged IRA that benefits you. Augusta Precious Metals is one of the best names in understanding gold and silver. They have some of the best ratings with the Better Business Bureau, and they're here to help you. They have helped countless Americans. You know, when they came to me, they said, we love the fact that you're showing and talking conservative and learning how to be morally and traditionally valued. That's what we want, and that's why I like Augusta Precious Metals. Check with them today. If you're worried about your money, hey, guess what? You know what's so crazy? Your money has lost about 20 to 25% of its value since 2020. That amount of cash sitting under your mattress or in your safe, it's lost its borrowing power, its buying power. And guess what? With the interest inflation, you're just seeing those dollars just lose the value each and every day. Get a peaceful rest knowing that your money is in something that has value across the world, and it's been for thousands upon thousands of years. This will be one of the best moves you make, because this is passing down legacy to your children, to know that your money is in something that has true value that's been over centuries. Go to maxlovesgold.com, text the number below. maxlovesgold.com is something I truly believe in. This is one of the biggest things I push for, like the farming, like the food, is understanding that true wealth is in things that have value, true value, and that is precious metals. Now, talking about gold, let's talk about what the markets are predicting right now. This is from the Kobayashi letter. It says, this is too obvious. What AI is actually doing is truly bringing the end to the financial world as we know it. It says the stock market just erased $800 billion in market cap just yesterday, as AI is becoming the talking point for the whole market. Textiles, the obvious. People are losing jobs. Our future will be hedged upon the dangers of AI and what it will do with jobs and market movability. This is from Jamie Dimon. Jamie Dimon, again, a billionaire banker from over JP Morgan Chase. No matter what you think about him and his politics, he is a smart man when it comes to the market, because he has a way to, he's one of the biggest players in it. Listen, he says, we're starting to see parallels to the era right before 2008, the financial crisis that crippled us, when we rushed to make loans that end in disastrous ways. Also, our government is way worse off with the investments they've made, even past '08. So meaning we're in more debt than we've ever been. We're not making financial right decisions. Our Congress is spending more money than it's ever spent, and we're still in financial ruins when it comes to the thoughts of big banks saying, this could be it. And then you have a major play with AI. The last 2 weeks, I've been listening to Chris Camilla. He said, what we've seen the last 2 weeks and the way that OpenClaw and all these AI bots have come, these AI agents, and the new growth of this, where it's growing its own businesses and not needing people to do it. AI agents hiring other AI agents to then realize you don't need one person in this business. Most jobs, most white-collar jobs, most brokerage firms, most lawyers, more bankers, a lot of these jobs are gone. So we talk about this, farming at the first part of this. We talk about the dangers of our economy. skilled labor is about the only thing that AI hasn't taken over yet. What are we doing? Why don't we invest in things like that? What is our government investing more in than anything? AI. Why? Because they know if they're not in control of it, it'll be used against them. All the more, it's causing financial ruins for most Americans because they're going to lose jobs to it. I'm not doing it, but like in a lot of our jobs, I could do editing. I can literally take a lot of my jobs on the financial side, my CPAs, my litigation, my lawyers. I could probably use AI to do every bit of it. But that means I'm harming a lot of families. For people who care about money, especially big business, that's exactly what they're going to do. So more and more people will lose jobs. We better prepare for a tough next few years because we're probably going to lose. The Republicans are probably going to lose 26 midterms because they can't pass one bill. And then we're probably going to lose 28 because Gavin Newsom, even in his sliminess, is winning in the polls against J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio. I mean, Thomas Massey, if Thomas Massey or Marjorie Taylor Greene runs a third party, it's going to destroy anyway. It's going to pull a Ross Perot, and then the socialists will win anyway. So it's not really looking very good for our economy right now. And then the tariff kickbacks. Now we have FedEx and a lot of other businesses trying to sue the government. It's not looking good. Our economy is struggling. Pay attention because you need to be the one to invest in yourself, skills, to say, you know what, AI can't take my job if I do this. AI can't take my farm if I can grow my own food. Then I don't have to worry about going to these stores and needing extra money when I can grow my own food. Like we were just talking about in the first part of this. You're worried about the poison in glyphosate. You're worried about the levels of cost at the grocery store. Grow your own food. You're worried about your job. Then start building and learning how to do things like plumbing, electrical. Learn how to do AC work. Learning how to fix cars. Learning how to do things that typically skilled laborers needed and that AI can't take yet. Talked to a broker and a lawyer the other day. Kid you not. We were at a civic organization, advertising, promotion kind of thing. And the brokerage firm says, we're working and incorporating AI. And he said, typically, it's amazing how I'm using it now to help clients. And he said, and actually what it's going to do is take my job probably in the next 5 years. And this was a nicer broker from a bigger firm, a multi-billion-dollar national firm that everybody would know. He said, I'm probably building my AI agent to learn everything it needs to learn to take my job. The lawyer said the same thing. He said, right now, he said, I have people who are not doing paralegals. We're not even hiring paralegals anymore because we're using ChatGPT to build these things. And then I'm looking over as a lawyer. He said, before long, you won't even have jobs like this anymore. This is the economy, and it's being destroyed. All because of our quote-unquote innovations. And this convenience and innovations is actually what's going to put us in an early grave, our American empire. Elon Musk did say it right. He said, yeah, he said, it scares me to death. AGI scares me to death. And he said, if we're not the power over it, somebody will be power over us. He said, but ultimately, it will change everything. And it will. Now, last thing I want to mention is the Trump interview yesterday. He looked a little defeated to me. I mean, he looks old. He is old. I understand that. But, you know, he got a lot of bad news this week. The tariff situations, Iran's, those U.S. ships over there are having some major problems with how the ships are working. It's just kind of amazing how they're having septic tank issues on one of the biggest, baddest fleets of all time. Shows how our government works, actually, is they can't fix their own problems. But I digress. He made a comment I thought was very unique. He said, I don't know how long I'll be around. You know, I have a lot of people going for me right now, don't I? And he said it in a very humbling, meek voice. Something that's not typical with Trump. You know, I don't know if he's sick. I don't know if he is worried about all these attempts on his life. But he almost come across as defeated. Now, I don't believe he'd ever tell us that because no CEO or chairman or billionaire class would say that. But when I think about how much he's tried to do when it comes to trying to pass bills and these liberal judges stop him, Dwight Johnson and John Thune are worthless. They're not passing anything and doing anything. We passed a third of the bills that Biden did, Obama did, and Bush did, and that was with sometimes someone on the opposite side of the aisle. Trump has every aspect of his group, Supreme Court that he appointed 3 people to, Congress, Senate, and yet he can't get anything passed. What I saw yesterday was almost a loss. Not Trump, I'm not saying that. But we have Candace Owens coming out, literally destroying Turning Point. We have Tucker Carlson trying to build every alliance against Southern Christianity who believes in Christians' values and Israel and all that. We have the Twitter woke right, the Nick Fuentes, all that. They're destroying the movement. We have Thomas Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who have good points. I'm not saying they don't have good points, but because of them not willing to negotiate, we're splintering even the rhinos in the Congress. We're really in a bad spot, people. And I don't want to just tell you like doom and gloom. I'm just tired of people putting their head in the sand and thinking it's all going to be okay. You think Biden was bad or Obama was bad? You wait. We're literally opening doors for a true socialist to be president. And at that point, they take everything you own. The three biggest people right now on the Democrat side who has a chance of winning would be Zoran Andani, Gavin Newsom, and AOC. Every one of them want a wealth tax, a seizure tax, meaning people don't understand what I'm saying when I say seizure tax. That means your net income, after they have taxed you, if they need more, that seizure clause, that law that they've been passing at all these places, is a way that they can take a little bit more, add a little bit extra tax somewhere else, and seize the money you make. So say, for instance, you make $1 million. That's a lot of money. But say the government takes 50%, 45%, so now you're down to $550,000. What they're saying is, well, that's still a little too much, and right now we're in a bind, so we're gonna charge the people who make over $400,000 an extra 20%. See, that's how it works. That's what seizure taxes are. They call it a wealth tax. It's not a wealth tax at all. Did you know the billionaire wealth tax in California? Here's what it would do. It's taxing unrealized gains and taxing the value of businesses. So that means it's not liquid money. So say, for instance, your business, and I know a lot of people don't understand this, but if you have a business that net monies, and it's like say it nets $200,000 or $400,000, that's not money in your account. You don't have that money. You have to pay liabilities with it. You have to pay your debts with it. You have to do other things with it. You don't have that money when it says you net that much. What they're saying is, well, we're going to charge you we're going to charge you tax on that like we always do. We're going to charge you tax on yourself. On top of that, once you get done, we're going to see your value of your business, and if it's assessed value, we're going to overtax that too because we need more money. So now your stock options, all your unrealized gains, we're going to tax it all. So what it's going to do is it's going to tax everyone into oblivion where no one can own anything and no one can have anything. And they don't write these taxes up for billionaires and millionaires. They write them up to have loopholes to be able to tax whatever bracket they want to flip in tax. And you just take it hook, line, and sinker, that's a billionaire tax. It wasn't wrote up as a billionaire tax. It's wrote up as an asset seizure tax. And that means if the billionaires move on, then it's the millionaires. If the millionaires move out, then it's the people who make $500,000 or $100,000. It's the six figures. That's how easy it is for them to take your money. Gavin, Zoran Andani, AOC has all said they want that. You allow us not to pass anything in Congress, and Trump looking defeated, and we allow for this economy to fall to pieces, you're going to get that leadership, and it's going to get way worse than Biden and Obama than you ever thought. You thought the borders were open. You thought you were inconvenienced. Just wait. That's why I tell you, prepare. You have till literally just a few months, because if we don't correct this and get somebody that's actually starting to win some bills and start passing some bills, we'll never win the midterms, and it's over. Impeachment for Trump in 2028 will never happen for Republicans. That is the truth. Guys, let me know your thoughts. It's not about doom and gloom. It's about being ready. You have to be ready. Thank you for watching, guys. God bless. Be free with me.